Hello, winning spirits. Yes, this is the very first episode of this podcast, and I've decided to call this community the Winning Spirits. I was thinking about calling it the Winning Minds, but Winning Spirits is far more powerful because your spirit is far more powerful than your mind. Because when your spirit is engaged completely, you have this level of drive, you have this level of inspiration, you have this level of energy that is unmatched. And how do we get that level of winning? How do we get that level of energy and inspiration? And every single one of these episodes, and we're going to release 3 episodes at least every single week that are going to be within 5 minutes or under 5 minutes. That's my aim. That's my goal. And to give you a major snippet of value that you can implement every single day. Something that's simple to action so you can get practical results. Now, I am not one of those guys that just likes to talk about random stuff and try to pump you up. This is about real action. So yes, we are going to bring in philosophy. We are going to bring in the science element. We're going to bring in the emotional element. We're going to bring in probably some spiritual elements as well. But all of those things are going to have one thing in common, and it's going to come down to real practical implementation, because that's how you really win in life. I'm not a big fan. People are on this manifestation hype, which is great. There are things that you can manifest, but manifestation also comes from action. It doesn't come from sitting there closing your eyes and wishing and hoping things will change. It comes from you wanting and visualizing change, but also putting the action in place. And that's what these podcast episodes are about. And to have a winning spirit, this is the principle that I want to share with you here today that you can action. In your life, you want to apply this concept of win-win-win. And win-win-win is an ancient practice. It's not something new. But essentially what it means is anytime you are in an engagement or interaction with someone, you want it to be a win for you, you want it to be a win for the other person, and you want it to be a win for the ecosystem or the community as a whole. So let me give you a practical example. If you are trying to have a conversation with your spouse, perhaps it's a difficult one, or perhaps you're negotiating or compromising. If it's a win for your spouse, and if it's a win for you, you guys are going to have a greater win. If it's just a win for your spouse, or just a win for you, it's not going to be as great of a win. But if it's a win for you, a win for your spouse, and a win for the greater community, perhaps your family, if you have children, so it's a win for your entire family, you are going to be a winning spirit. That's how true energy and drive comes into play. Because our spirit knows when we're missing out on a key win. Our spirit knows when we're winning, but someone else is not. Or when someone else is winning and we're not. And that's what happens to a lot of people too. If you're part of this community, most likely you are a high giver, meaning that you like to give to other people before you even give to yourself. So when that happens, sometimes we end up giving to somebody else and not having a win ourselves. So it's a win for them and not a win for us. I had to learn this the hard way. And it really took me a while to realize that unconsciously things were not working out for me because other people were winning. And I knew deep down inside I wasn't winning for myself, but I would bury it and try to pretend like I was being a good person. But your spirit knows better than that. And so when it's a win for you, it's a win for the other person, it's a win for the environment, your spirit picks up on that energy and continues to move forward. You have a greater level of inspiration. You have a greater level of results. So what is the action item coming out of this today? What is the winning spirit thing that you can do today? That is, in your interactions, I just want you to pick one major interaction that you are going to have today. Whether it's a negotiation, maybe it's a tough conversation with a spouse or an employee or your kids, whatever it might be. Think of how you're going to make it a win-win-win. A win for you, win for the other person, and a win for the ecosystem or the environment or the community. Think about it. Actually write down these strategies. You can actually make 3 columns on a piece of paper. Just put down 2 lines, and then you have a win for yourself, win for the other party, win for the community. Write down all of the ideas that you have that could be wins in each of those categories, and try to aim for at least one win in each of those categories for that interaction. Watch what happens when you come out of that interaction. You're going to have far more energy because your spirit is going to be engaged. Hence, you being a winning spirit. And yes, I did it. I kept this episode to under 5 minutes. I hope you have an awesome day and are able to implement this win-win-win strategy.